It's Monday, April 13th, and you're listening to the Marine Corps Movie Minute, where we break down the movies of the Marine Corps 1 minute at a time. I'm Brian Lockhart.
And I'm Jack Perry.
We are in the midst of breaking down Heartbreak Ridge, the Clint Eastwood classic.
Oh yeah.
And today we have reached minute 40.
Yeah, things are starting to pick up.
Yep, for sure. Minute 40 begins with Gunny marching the platoon out for PT. The minute ends with Gunny marching to platoon. So there's a lot of marching in this minute.
Yeah, there's a lot of left, righty, left.
Yes, there is. A whole lotta.
You quickly can tell that the difference between Recon and the other Marines. All the other Marines are all uniform, wearing well, I don't know how you would describe it. It's the red shorts and the yellow shirt, but they always remind me of like the Flash or like they were wearing underoos.
Yeah, kinda. Well, but what's funny, we mentioned silkies in one of the
Ye-
last minutes,
Yep,
and those almost look like red versions of the green silkies we wore.
yep.
To an extent, are real short. Of course, it was the '80s.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think we had all the leftover silkies when we were in.
I thought it was funny that you said a whole lot of left, right,
Yeah,
because literally in my notes it said a lot of left, right.
yeah. It's Marine shorthand.
Yes. Yeah, we picked up from Friday's minute where Gunny was, marching the platoon off for PT after they stripped their shirts off. So yeah, they don't get the nice, fancy Marine Corps shirt that they're all wearing in uniform. They're all it's gonna be skins versus shirts,
Yeah,
with these two platoons. They start marching off. Like you said, left foot. I was trying to pay attention. I really was paying attention. I'm like, are they in step? Is Gunny in
yeah,
step? Yeah, he does his left right pretty good.
yep,
It works. We cut from the Quonset huts, the road we've been on for the last little bit to a. It looks like it's a grassy parade field. It looks like
yeah,
because they're not really PTing. They're they're just kind of marching around. Almost like in a parade like type situation is what it looks like to me.
yeah. This is a little bit different format than what we had. We would just all meet somewhere, and then if we did any kind of drill to and from, it was like in a training situation. But when we were fleet, like we didn't really do this. This wasn't common. Like that's what I always thought about the movies was so funny is that everybody's always marching around, man. And I was like, unless you're a boot or you're in your first school, you really didn't. We didn't drill much.
No. No, yeah, I thought first off, the only time we ever really did that was for the aforementioned,
Parades.
parades and, retirement ceremonies that we did.
Yep.
A school and actually a lot of times in our at least for us in Pensacola, in our A school, they would have like, I was, a PFC, and
Hmm.
so, like, they'd be like, "Alright, who's the highest rank in PFC? You're marching these 4 Marines down to Chow Hall," or a lot of times what you do is you
Yeah.
just meet at the Chow Hall, and then you might get in formation and march to your class.
Yeah. Or it was an organized gaggle.
Yeah, yeah. Well, or was beauty for, like, when I was in A school, there was only 1 other Marine in my class. The
Huh.
rest are all Navy guys, so it was like, well, who's in formation? We just walk together.
Side by
Who
side.
who wants to be in charge today?
Yeah. Did you ever notice too when you got out of school, when you got out of like boot camp and like MCT and your first day of school, like if you were ever walking like with a group of well anything more than one person, right?
Mhm.
How you always managed to end up stepping in step.
Yeah, it just kinda happened.
Yeah, it was weird, man.
Well, it's so in boot camp, they teach you, like, when you are a junior Marine walking with a higher ranking Marine, specifically an officer, but I think really any higher ranking Marine,
Yeah.
the correct way to do things is to march either on their left or right. I think it's their left, I can't remember, and you're supposed to take, like, a half step behind them.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? It's not like,
Yeah.
it's to basically show that, they're
They're in
in
charge.
charge and yeah, they outrank you and all that. And I remember I went when I was on my, 10-day leave after boot camp, I went with my recruiter, and I was thinking about doing recruiting assistant so I could stay home longer, but I
Yeah.
went a day with my recruiter, and, you dress up in your uniform and you walk the mall.
Right. Yeah.
And I started doing that, and he's like, "Yeah, we don't do that."
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't just scare off the
He was like, the Black Panther and, when he said, "We don't do that here."
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay." Okay. Um, yeah, so I learned real quick. It was like, yeah, that a lot of that stuff goes out the way. But you gotta remember, these guys are combat guys, and it's also the '80s, and it's a movie, so we don't know where this is all coming from.
Yeah, I guess it's the civilian idea of what it's like. This was a good 10 years before we
Yeah,
got in, so that might have been standard. And it's also an
right.
infantry units, man. We were with the air wing. We were
We
cryptologists.
were swinging with the wing, so yeah,
Yeah, it was a little bit more lax.
right. If you couldn't figure it out,
Yeah.
we were not infantry. So
No.
yeah, I don't know, maybe they do that, but yeah, we always just met. It's like, hey, make sure you're at the PT field at whatever time, or the beginning of the because you had the PFT like 3 mile run. It was like
Right.
be there at 0600 or whatever time. And the other thing is, if we ever did do anything where we were marching or in PT in particular, and we're running in formation, they would usually take one of us out and kind of have us be the leader for either that day.
Yeah.
Wherever they were doing that, it was like they kind of wanted us to get,
Yeah, the NCOs. Well,
yeah, it was,
yeah, or the senior lance corporals.
yeah. I think it was mostly the NCOs by that point.
Yeah.
But it was, yeah, you come out, you're gonna tell us to do 10 side straddle hops and all that bullshit,
Yep.
and then go for a quick run,
Yep.
and you were gonna call cadence, or maybe they would call somebody out. You would start out and you call the next person out.
Yeah.
"Take it, I got it, low
Yeah.
right to left, right."
Yeah. And
Everybody
then
low right your left, right when they got
yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah, 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 you asshole. You called him you dick. I just
so
wanted to run.
right, right, just quiet. I'm tired, it's hot.
I'm
Um,
hungover.
but these guys, when they're marching, I mean, this reminds me of like when you used to march, like before and after in boot camp to PT or after PT, or you do like it's like
Yeah.
the school circle. It's like you're getting not school circle, the cool down square. When you walk around, cool down, drink water. Kind
Right.
of, I mean, or you're just like marching together. But um, I also find it funny too that they're out for PT. We've already commented on Gunny being in boots and utes, and the rest of these guys are in their PT gear. Then you got the other platoon who's like the squared away platoon,
Yeah.
but their Gunny is also in boots and utes.
Yeah.
But he's got the yellow matching shirt with his platoon, but he's still boots and utes.
Yeah.
And again, that's the type of thing you saw. Again, I mean, we could be talking out of our ass, but I'm really talking from our experience. If anybody was doing that, first off, usually your gunny would be in PT gear as well. If not,
Yeah.
he might be in uniform, but he's not PTing with you. He's like
Getting you started.
getting you started exactly, or
Yeah.
monitoring your PFT. You know,
Exactly. Or he's got a clipboard.
yeah, he's got a clipboard exactly. And even then, sometimes they showed up in the same workout gear you did. It's
Yeah.
just PT gear. They just didn't partake because they were monitoring.
Right.
So yeah, it's just funny that they're both in boots and utes. Um, North Carolina's got a lot of mountains and Quonset huts in the background.
Yeah. And it conspicuous like a trees.
Yeah, no swampy areas.
Yeah, you can actually see, off into the distance, which you really can't do in North Carolina because of all the humidity.
Yeah, as we've discussed. Now,
Yeah. Or
I didn't like.
pollen.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Right. Especially right now.
Oh yeah. I'm glad I'm not there.
This shit covers everything. It's really fun
Mm,
to breathe in when you're trying to run too.
yeah, tree jizz all in your lungs. Ugh.
If- As Kevin Smith would say, all over your face, neck, and chest.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
What?
So I like when they get on on the parade deck. You can still see some of the Marines we've seen in the past.
Mhm.
Especially the one guy from back when Gunny introduced himself. Um, and Stitch is just diddy bopping away still. He's
Yeah.
back there. He's taking about 4 steps for every 1 step that the rest of the Marines are taking.
Yeah.
And, of course, he says, "When my boy Swede gets out, sucker's gonna be dead meat." And then they
A
do a
little
little
foreshadowing.
yeah, a little low five between him and, Freggetti. That's our second tease of somebody named Swede when he gets out of
Right.
the brig. I noticed Stitch has a shit ton of jewelry on too.
Yeah, still.
He's probably got that funk necklace. I can't
Yeah.
tell if he's got a cross as well. I tried to pause it when he walked by. A lot of guys have cross, but he's definitely got his funk. He's got a couple different even if it's not multiple chains, I think it's no, he's got multiple chains because he's got a shorter one, he's got his dog tags, and then he's got the funk.
Yeah.
And technically, now granted, these guys aren't adhering to the rules
The
exactly,
standard.
right? But you're only allowed one religious medallion,
Right.
type thing in uniform, as long as as long as it doesn't interfere and it's not like falling out of your. Got to tuck it in your shirt and all that good stuff.
Right. You notice how the real Marines aren't wearing any jewelry?
Yeah, yeah. I was trying to see. I'm like, I don't even know if they were wearing. They're not even wearing their dog tag.
Yeah, I don't think they are either. Because I mean, you don't wanna lose them.
Right. The one guy is wearing his dog tags in the back. The guy that was like we were kind of calling the squad leader or the
Oh,
guide or
yeah.
whatever you want to call
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, the gentleman that looks a little
Yeah,
senior,
yeah,
seasoned.
yeah. Short Kurt Angle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Between this minute and next minute, there's another little bit of business that kind of reminds me of Stripes.
Mm.
That it's kind of something like we talked about before too, where it's like, here's the good platoon, and they're marching by Major Powers and whatever WM was with him. I'm not sure if she's like just in his command. I can't even tell. It looks like she's got. Does she have oak leaves on?
She might.
She might outrank him, or is a
Yeah,
fellow major. She could be. You know what? She's a fellow major. They're both together.
okay.
I never noticed that. So, they're standing there together, and of course, as we'll learn, this is First Platoon, and they're doing the good, "Mama, Mama, can't you see what the Marine Corps has done to me?" They're doing a good cadence and all that,
Yeah.
well-known cadence, and Major Power seems impressed. It reminds me of John Larroquette going, "These are fine men, good men. Are these my men?"
Yeah. Yeah. No, sir, your men are coming right up.
And then we cut right over to um, Recon Platoon, who Gunny insists that cojones go
Yeah.
ahead and do a cadence, and he flips him the bird, and
Yeah.
he says your girlfriend's gonna weep the next time next time you see your girlfriend or whatever, because when I bite that thing off.
Yeah, yeah, like supernatural power. Like he turned around, Gunny couldn't even see him at all. He's behind him, and as soon as he did it, he goes, "Yeah, your girlfriend's gonna weep when I bite that finger off."
Yeah, what is it? Moms, teachers, and gunnery sergeants all have eyes in the back of their head.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a funny line. And he's like, "But I don't know, Gunny."
Yeah, he's like, "I can't remember any." He's like, "What do you say?" Like, not go for
Yeah,
broke, but he was like,
go for nuts.
yeah, be aggressive, improvise, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Or I'll run you until what, midnight.
yeah, yeah, run your ass till midnight. That's exactly it. And that's, um, I think, yeah, actually, it's the next minute where they said, just do the certifiable. So that's really where we leave it. He says, I can't remember any. He says, do it, or I'm going to run your ass to midnight.
Yep.
And, that's it. That's the end of the minute. I don't have too much else because I think what I'll do is I'll save some of the comments I wanted to make for the next minute because this scene continues on.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, we do a little build up.
Do you have any observations or anything else about this minute you want to cover before we move on?
No, not really. Just looking at the terrain and stuff. I've been out there. Some of it kind of looks familiar. I have suspicions where some of it actually might be places that I've been, but
That's
that's
cool.
been so long ago,
Yeah.
and this was so long before that. So
Right.
uh,
Yeah, I'm sure it's changed, or maybe it hasn't.
well, it's probably more likely that a lot of it's burned down and been rebuilt a few times. It is Southern California.
Yeah, good point.
So.
I actually just real quick. I just catch it right before we let before we go when Cajones flips him off. He and Gunny catches him on it without ever turning around. He like
Yep.
pulls it back like a little kid who just got caught. Like shit, he saw that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
remember any.
He flips him off. Yeah, he's like, oh, yeah, like he was watching it. That was great.
So yeah, I say we end it and we come back till Wednesday and continue on.
Yep, good call.
All right, well, Perry, come back and join me on Wednesday, or I'll run your ass till midnight. Well, it's Monday, April 13th, and whatever. Just stick with the fucking format.
No, give
Welcome
it a
back.
shot.
Yeah, well, I was
Fuck.
actually, no, okay.